Hi, beloveds. If you are a regular on this channel, you know that we explore childhood adversity through the lens of spiritual transformation, of spiritual growth, of transformative growth. Okay, on that note, I'd like to explore the experience of trauma in the subtle energy body. Whoa, let's take a look at that today. Now, the subtle energy body, it's known in many traditions. The hubs, the centers, the main energetic centers in the subtle energy body are known as chakras. They're known as picos. They're known as soul houses. They're known as the seven mansions of the Lord's house. Seven mansions of the Lord's house, yes? And they're referred to in many traditions. And I want to assure you, the subtle energy body is nothing that was just dreamed up. You are having subtle energetic experiences every single day, and so are other people. But sometimes we don't even recognize it. Wow. So I'm going to name a few examples for you, okay? In the seven energy centers, for our purposes today, we're going to call them chakras, these seven main hubs. We're going to call them chakras today. And the heart is the center, in the center of the seven. So during your average day, when you start to feel a warmth, a natural undertone of warmth, when you feel love, when you feel kindness towards someone, when you breathe and receive and settle, this is a heart-based experience. And it's so important for those of us who have experienced childhood adversity to be able to come to the heart, come here time and time and time again and feel the warmth of the heart. This is a subtle, energetic experience. And you can support those subtle energetic experiences through your awareness. So by you knowing this, right, during your average day, you can take a moment to breathe and receive, to open up the channels, the pathways of the heart, and to balance. The heart is a powerful balancing center. Okay, that's an example of a subtle energetic experience. Another example, the belly area called Manipura chakra, lustrous gem. This is the center of our vitality, right? Our well-being, our sense of contributing, having something to contribute to the world. When we feel we have something to offer our world, to contribute it to the world, this is a subtle energetic experience of balance. Conversely, when we feel depleted, weary, I don't have anything, low self-worth, that's a subtle energetic experience of the belly too, and it's a depleted one. Now, on the other end of that spectrum, have you ever seen somebody walk into the room and they feel like they're going to take on the world, right? And they're ready to conquer anyone, anything, any activity that stands in their way? That is a subtle energetic experience of the belly, the ego that's out of whack, right? And we see what that does to our world. We see the how that diminishes our world, the environment, other people, etc., etc. These are subtle energetic experiences, and we have these experiences every day, okay? And by you knowing this, being aware of this, it will actually quicken the pace. It will actually help you come in tune with your subtle energetic body so you can start to balance more and be more aware of the subtle energetic system. Now, the subtle energetic system, did any of you see the exhibit that was out a few years ago? Was it called Bodies? I think it was called Bodies exhibit. And we saw that exhibit, and in one of the displays, they showed the physical circulatory system. And they showed, you know, the arteries, the veins, the capillaries, and you could see the outline of the entire physical form. But it was just our circulatory system. It was amazing, and it was an extensive. It was an extensive system. It was just. I've never forgotten that display. I'd like you to think of the subtle energetic body in a similar way. We have these seven main hubs, and from these seven main hubs, there are refined pathways that extend outward. right? They're refined pathways. On that note, let's very briefly go over the subtle energetic system. There's the base chakra, the base hub at the very base of the spine. That's the feeling of stability, right? The feeling um, uh, of having a sense of home. Home base. I'm talking inside home base, right? And physical, but also the ground, the structure on which we're built. Second center, it's just about the area, sometimes when you feel like you got to go pee, it's kind of in that area, right? Right about there. This is the center of creativity, of procreation, dancing. For some of you, maybe a dancer, all right? The feeling of just that movement and that creativity, that spontaneity. Third one, we've discussed a little bit, Manipura chakra is called. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. The heart, the balancing center, that's so important. Oh, so important. We want to know where the heart is. Got to know where that is. The throat, the ability to speak the truth from your heart. Speak the truth from your heart, not having a disconnect between heart and throat. Oh, what a joy. Sixth one, in between the eyebrows, deep in the center of the skull. This is called Ajna chakra, the command center, meaning having an artistry, a sense of artistic command over the subtle energetic expression in your being. And then finally, the crown chakra at the very, very top. And it's not flat at the top of the head. It's actually more toward the back, not the skull back here, but more toward the back top of the head and up, like the ever blooming, ever expansive lotus. Okay? These energetic systems, these energetic hubs expand outward from there. So it's not just the main hubs. There's more refined pathways. Wow. Okay? So on that note, let's get to the topic of this video. Let's explore trauma as an experience in the subtle energetic body. Okay, take a big breath. Inhale and exhale. And plant your feet on the floor. Okay? Or you can lay down and do this too. And from here, I'd like to bring us to the experience of early childhood. You've just arrived here. You've just come here. You're a little tiny baby, right? And you're hopeful. And as a little tiny being who's just come into an individual body, you've come from the universal, you're now in the individual. All your little heart asks for is to be loved up. You just want to give and receive love, don't you? At the earliest, that's your earliest impulse. I'm here. Time to give and receive love. Okay? Well, in early childhood adversity, the caregivers couldn't reflect that. They did not have the ability to fulfill, right, our desire to receive love and to receive our desire to give love. It was not happening. So what happens in the heart, our heart, by the way, the heart is this pulsing center that connects us to the universal heart, the one big heart. So that pulse, in essence, right, that pulse, that heartbeat within the universal starts to get disrupted. The flow, the beating starts to get disrupted, right? And the mind starts to compensate. So the mind starts to become highly developed in a person who has experienced early childhood adversity. The mind starts to kick up majorly, all right? It's almost like goes on high alert at a very young age. Oh my goodness, high alert. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh gosh. Okay, and then the mind becomes more dense. The individual mind becomes well developed, gets a little bit more density into it, right? Because it has to go into overdrive. It has to get heated. It has to compensate, develop coping mechanisms, etc., etc., etc. So the mind becomes heavily developed and the heart gets depleted. Right? These are subtle energetic experiences. Mind heavily developed, mind heats up, mind has coping mechanisms, mind develops residue, and the heart says, what about me? Right? From there, it's going to affect the other energy centers in the body. For instance, let's now go down to belly. The belly might start getting upset, right? I don't feel vital. I'm not feeling vital here at all. I'm feeling upset. My tummy's upset, right? My digestion's upset now. I don't feel like I have anything to give my world because I haven't even been acknowledged by the people who brought me here. So the tummy will get upset. And the sense of safety, that sense of safety at base chakra can be ripped away. Where's the safety? I don't know. I don't feel safe in my world. Oh my goodness. And from there we retreat. And would we feel safe to offer to be creative? We retreat, right? And how could we possibly share our truth from the heart? How would that even be possible? So that trauma gets installed, heart first, right? Heart. The trauma is installed. The wounds are installed. Nobody there to give and receive the love. Oh my goodness, my dear heart, or my dear head, it's in overdrive. Too much, cannot handle. Belly upset, don't feel safe, definitely don't feel creative. And when my cries aren't even acknowledged, how can I even express myself from my heart? The subtle energetic body from a young age, in other words, goes out of balance. It goes out of whack. No surprise there. Not a surprise. And this is exactly why those of us who've experienced childhood adversity, we want to work with our heart center a great deal. And when I say work with it, I don't mean as a task. I mean as a feeling, as an experience. Because your heart will always, always balance the head. The mind, the individual mind, is overly developed. The individual mind has been on high alert. And we come to the heart and we balance. And I want to encourage you to, in your quiet time, to explore the experience of the heart, the warmth of the heart, the goodness of the heart, how your individual heart is indeed connected to something greater, a greater experience, right? This is what I'd like you to take, especially from this video today. The heart will balance the head. Our minds, our individual mind, not the universal knowing. The universal knowing always stays the same. Our individual minds were highly developed. They went on overdrive. It's the heart now, the return to the heart, the return to the love that will balance your dear mind now. The exploration of your heart makes a difference. Truly, truly makes a difference, right? It's the heart. It's the heart now, the soothing of the heart. Another concept that might be a stretch, but I'd like to leave you with this today, is this. Going back to that in a moment when we arrived here, and that moment where we realized we were in perfect balance, we wanted to give and receive love, that was our mission all along. When we noticed that that was not going to be possible here, and when that trauma, that wound was created, and we went into overdrive, right? When the mind went into overdrive, the individual mind was developed from that point. Your individual mind, not universal mind, not universal knowing. Knowing. The individual mind was created at that point. And much of that individual mind that was created is a fallacy. Is a fallacy. Untruths were created in there as a coping mechanism. The individual mind, in its purest form, wants to serve you. It wants to serve the heart. It wants to serve that original desire of giving and receiving love. It seeks to serve that. So much of what was created in our individual mind is a fallacy. It's not true. And by knowing this and by coming to the heart, soaking in the heart, subtle energetic experience of the heart, bathing the heated mind in the subtle warmth of your heart, you'll return to balance and you will fulfill, inevitably fulfill, your original desire of giving and receiving love. And that brings this all full circle. It makes the journey of childhood adversity worth it. Okay? It makes it worth it. And I have meditations. Many of you know I have meditations on this channel, and I encourage you to go to them. So on that note, wow, I don't know what else to say beyond come to your heart. Know that much of what was created in your mind was a fallacy. It's not true. It's not the truth. But you are on this journey to fulfilling that original mission of giving and receiving love. Coming here to give and receive love. You are on that journey. And by you understanding your subtle energetic body and how trauma moves through the subtle energetic body, creates imbalances, but ultimately brings us home, you're on your path. You've got this. You've got this. You've got this. I'm sending so much support and so much love to you. Please be in touch anytime, and you're always welcome to reach out for private sessions as well.